What's going on, guys? All right, it's already here, Thursday. Time flies. I just feel like I just sat down and gave you the Tuesday rundown. Told you I'd be back on Thursday. Here we are. Um, I believe that it is Thursday the 3rd. Let me just triple check my dates. Yes, Thursday, November 3rd. Um, and as usual, let's give you a little bit of a rundown. This one's going to be a little bit short because nothing's really changed from the last time we talked. The lake has, I want to say, stabilized over the last 2 days compared to what we were dropping, but really it's still dropping. 396.17 yesterday, 396.15 today. 1.1 to 2 foot visibility, 64, 67 is the parameter. Depends on where you are in the lake and what time of day. Okay, remember when I give you this water temperature, it's always the subsurface. It's the first 12 to 18 inches. It's influenced each day, depending on how cool the nights are. That's how much we'll lose at night. And then, of course, how warm the days are is how much that surface will re-warm back up. It also depends on whether you're south, mid-lake, or north. The shallower water up north tends to be more influenced than the water down south. Lake's in good shape as far as color-wise. I talked about the visibility. Turnover is kind of past us, but for whatever reason, it's just still fishing tough. You can catch the fish. You just have to kind of keep the expectation down for numbers. You're not necessarily going to catch a lot of fish, but then again, any day right now, it's going to truly open up. We've got a lot of weather coming potentially tomorrow. Some severe weather if they're right. Tomorrow afternoon could bring heavy thunderstorms, 1 to 2 inches of rain again, big hail, possible tornado. Let's not hope for any damaging hail or tornadoes, but let's hope for the 2 inches of rain. We need it. And again, we're not real cold. So one of these fronts that comes through or storms that's going to come through is going to fire these fish up. Okay. As I talked about, the best way right now to catch them is suspending in trees. They're suspending in the trees. They're on the main lake points, the secondary points. They're in the creek channels. You got to go find the bait. Find the bait fish. You're warm. The bait is shallow. There's a lot of bait shallow. In fact, it almost seems like there's too much bait shallow. I will tell you that the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department did their shock survey in September, and they found that the shallow waters of Lake Fork were depleted of fish, depleted of bass. I'm on the fence with the shock theory. I have always been my whole life. In the West Coast, most of the lakes there, we don't fish any shallower than 25, 30, 35 feet seems to be the key depth that the fish are always at, 35, even 45 or 55 feet deep. And their shock survey is only in the upper water column, maybe 8, 10 feet deep. So if a majority of the fish are in 25, 35, or 40 feet, in Case and Fork, maybe a majority of the fish are at 18 to 22 feet, and they shock the shallows, it's kind of hard to truly make an estimate of the fish. But they're the biologists. And Texas Parks did say by their survey that the lake seems to be low in numbers of bass. It fishes that way in the fall, but I can take my sonar and show you plenty of bass. Guys with live scope, I don't have the live scope. They can go out there and show you bass after bass after bass, suspending in the trees. They're just, number one, not eating real well. They're not biting real well. Number two, making them hard to catch. So the skill level, the skill-driven level is really where it's at. I can tell you there is a lot of fish still shallow in the 3 to 8 foot range, suspending in trees, but they're offshore. They're not up on the banks like they typically would be in the fall. Some of them are in the trees, but they're offshore suspending. Should be getting better any day. Okay. I did mention the surrounding lakes. There are a multitude of surrounding lakes that are fishing awesome. I went and fished one this morning. Spinnerbaits, square bills, shallow crankbaits. Man, between 2 boats, we caught plenty of fish. They just weren't the big Lake Fork fish. We did catch some nice fish. I lost a really nice fish on a spinnerbait. I will tell you a couple of names just for the sake of giving you guys, the public subscription, something valuable. I don't want you to think that I'm blowing you off. I don't want you to think I'm always just trying to solicit you over to the members only channel. So Lake Athens has been fishing very good. Sometimes a little bit of topwater bite early in the morning. Definitely a square bill crankbait bite as the day progresses, and definitely an underspin or spinnerbait bite around the edges of the grass. It's got big fish in it. You never know what you're going to catch at Lake Athens. Another lake that's really fishing very good is Gilmer. Lake Gilmer, there's a lot of fish. The parking lot's pretty full at Gilmer. There's a lot of fish being caught. Acting, again, grass, it's acting like fall. So Gilmer is a good lake. And of course, Lake Welch. Lake Welch is a power plant lake. It is a little warmer water than I like to see this time of year. Lots of grass, lots of vegetation. It's hit and miss. You can catch them on a frog. You can catch them top water. You can catch them on plastics. Sometimes I just like to do a weightless fluke or a wacky worm, something like that on the edge of the grass there. But if you go to those lakes, expect to catch some fish. Now there's a few other lakes, even closer, that I will not mention. The one I went to today, for example, I'm only going to share that with the members only. So if you want to know a couple other lakes that are, there's a place to be right now if you're really just wanting to go catch fish. The one I fished this morning was just real simple. In fact, I had a guy who had to learn how to use a bait caster. His first hour, he couldn't even cast. And once he got broke into casting, he caught fish too. And we got a mixed bag. We caught white bass, largemouth. But there is a few lakes in the surrounding area that are closer to Lake Fork. So, maybe you mix your day up. Maybe you go fish in the morning in one of these other lakes and then the afternoon at Fork. Generally, the Lake Fork is better in the afternoons, period, almost all year long. There are some morning bites on Lake Fork, more in the spring. I noticed even all this summer, June, July, August, the best bite was from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. just at dusk. And that's really kind of relative now. The afternoon bite just seems to be better on Fork. You'll catch more fish. So planting those seeds for you. I can't think of really anything else in this particular rundown to give you. Fall is here. We're in mid-fall, and we're kind of cruising. I like the temperatures that we're at. Like I said, not to be redundant, but I think Lake Fork's going to fire up very soon. I don't really have any openings for November, none at all. I do have a few in December if the weather's not too bad. Do you think you want to fish? You want to learn something? Hit me up. I will tell you that I am changing my prices as of January 1st, 2023. I'm going from $500 a day for a full day trip to $600 a day for a full day trip. The prices of everything is through the roof. As I go to the grocery store, I used to spend $350 a month on just me. And now I'm $500, $600, $700 or more a month. Everything seems to have doubled. Everything. The value of our homes, vehicles have gone up 15%. Boats have gone up 15%. So I have to stay with that. The cost of living, the cost of my next boat, for example, is considerably more than the last 3 or 4 that I bought. So January 1st, we go up to $600. If you book a 2023 trip now, before the first of the year, I will honor the $500 a day prices. And remember, that's $500 a day for a full day trip for 1 or 2 person. It covers 1 or 2 person. You can add a third for an additional $150. Covers all the gear, the baits, the lures, water. So that's an invite to come fish with me for next year. Save yourself some money and book before the first of the year. You save $100. One last thing, my Skeeter, my 2023 Skeeter should be here mid-December and January. So if you're interested in my 2022, which is in mint shape, I am anal. I keep things so neat and clean, spick and spotless, like unbelievable. I run the ring free in every single tank of fuel, the engine spotless, all its tune-ups, all its oil changes. I power wash the boat almost every other week, minimum, sometimes every week. It's just mint. It's in mint shape. I'm putting my boat back up for sale now. I'm going to take a buyer. I want a contract, so you have to, if you buy it now, you'll have to wait till the next boat comes. But I'm selling it for a screaming deal. Right now, to buy a brand new Skeeter like the one I have is $97,000. All right. I'm not selling my boat for anything like that. It does have a couple hundred hours on it. That's nothing on a Yamaha show engine. If you are interested in my boat, contact me now. We'll write up a contract. I'll have you put a down payment, a deposit. And then when my new one gets in, we'll do the swap and the banking then. But the 2022 is going back up for sale. Anybody watching is interested. just hit me up, private message me. My phone number is 602-826-1524. Come buy yourself a beautiful boat at a really, really killer savings. Other than that, I wish you all great fishing. I'm so thankful for all of you. The subscriptions are great. Hit the like button, comment below. Consider coming over to the members only channel. I share more information. I share more in-depth details. I share locations, names, colors of baits and things that I'm using specifically. So if you aren't a member, give it a try. It's $4.99 a month. If you don't like it after a month, just unsubscribe. You're not going to lose anything. We lose more lures, fishing line, and burn fuel in a day on Lake Fork than $4.99 for a month. All right, 1 month, $4.99 a month. 8 members only rundown, super, super detailed. All right, appreciate you. Thank you guys very much for watching. God bless.